What's going on, guys? Big Mike D7 Outlaw finally back here with some videos. So anybody that checked out the last video, we took Project Cornbread out to the dyno for the first time to finally get this bike tuned. The R6, honestly, ever since I've had it, has never been tuned. I'm pretty sure whoever got it put a power commander on it, just kind of slapped one of the tunes on a computer, because when you do the power commanders, you can go in on their website and actually kind of get a base map. And I'm pretty sure that's all the bike ever had. Never really had a professional dyno tune to really see how the bike actually does. But anyway, took it out. Bike did great, way better than I expected. We managed to make 109 horsepower, 44 foot-pounds of torque. And to be honest, like for me, look at how good that air fuel is. Flat across the board. Gets a little heavy in here, but then it stays flat when it's in power, which looks about right, because around 5,000–6,000 RPM is where the bike really seems to get into power. But anyway, looking at the curve, very linear power the whole way up, and then once we get to about 13.2, the bike kind of falls off, which this is one reason why I like doing dyno tunes. I'm not a big fan of like being like, oh yeah, this is how much power it makes. I kind of like looking at these graphs, because on bikes like the Busa, which you'll see the color once I get the bike outside. I'm waiting for the sun to come out from the clouds again real quick, show you guys the new color. But I like looking at these graphs because it shows you where the power is. And even on torque, you can see that around 13,000 RPM, the torque and horsepower seem to drop off. So to me, that gives you a good idea on where your shift point's going to be. Shift at like 13 grand in this case. The bike should be still in peak power, and it should really help it out. I mean, we'll be able to make sure that all the power is to the ground at all times. And we got a little bit of tweaks to do yet on the R6. I think we're going to end up running it without the lower fairing, hopefully keep things a little bit cooler and more accessible, because if we ever have to do anything, it's easier. Everything's easy to get to. If we take the bike to some shows, we'll slap the lower fairing on it and we're all good to go. We do have to get the front fender brackets put back on, and I also have that strap kit that we picked up over from our guys at Speed Needs. I honestly, I can't say thanks enough to these guys, because they're pretty local. I mean, I think they're in Jersey, I believe, but able to get me the parts very fast. And I didn't see a R6 specific bracket on their website, or at least on their eBay store. And I messaged them on Instagram and said, hey, this is the bike that I have, do you have anything that would fit it? And what ended up working out was all I had to do was send the measurements for these two bolts, which are your caliper bolts up here and down here, and this bracket kit, which I think is the same for an R1, fits the R6. So we have our strap kit. I think what we're going to end up doing, well, like I said, check these guys out. I mean, I got to get one more sticker, go ahead and get them mounted up here on the R6. But there's all their information down below. Go hit them up for, honestly, parts needs. You want to go fast? Hit them up. But got to get that mounted. The only thing that I did notice might be like a hair of a dilemma on the R6 is I wanted to raise the suspension in the front, because the thing's been dropped so far here on the forks. And then to put the bracket on, it looks like I'm just going to have to like loosen my brake line, so that way this bracket clears, because it'll come out this way. That way everything still fits nice and neat in here. I like the strap kits. It's done great for me on the Busa. And yeah, we're going to get away from Project Cornbread. She is like 99% ready for the track, and get now on to the Busa. Yes, it's black, but this is a special black that in the sun it completely changes to just a really different color. It looks really good. I was a little iffy on it at first when Justin was painting it, because he sent it to me, the paint code, and it was literally just black. So it took a little bit for me to figure it out, and I think you can kind of see a little bit of flake in there. Wait till this thing gets out in the sun. I'm waiting on the sun to peek out just a little bit longer. Keeps going in and out of the clouds, so I'm hoping I can get a little patch here. But we went ahead and got everything mounted up, everything cleaned up, ready to go. We made a new bracket for our air shifter, onboard air, did our battery relocation. We even have our battery tender hookup tucked right up here with our fuse panel and everything, all of our wiring for the lights all tucked up in there, ready to go. Go ahead, put the lights and stuff on. You guys can see what everything looks like. So we didn't do much. Like I said, this bike is relatively meeting standards, but we have 2 LEDs, high beam, low beam, and I mean, for me, I'm probably just going to leave both of those on. It works. It works enough for people to see you. But biggest thing though too, we went ahead and have our turn signals. We have a brake light and a marker light, so our brake light's up on top. And yeah, I mean, it works. It works for what it is. It was me trying to keep everything as simple and clean as possible and relatively in budget. You can go on Amazon and get these lights for dirt cheap. And I mean, if you really have any issues with them, you get them in a pack usually of 10. So if one happens to get a little funky, just go ahead and pull it out, cut the wires, splice a new one in, and you're off to the races. But anyway, everything is cleaning up really nice on this bike. I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. The only thing that I need to do, really, to me, that's a performance upgrade, but then it will be overall as well, because there's another thing that ties into it, is I want to get ceramic wheel bearings front and rear. And when I do that, I think I'm going to end up doing the wheels. So this might be a little bit where you guys come into play, is what color. I was leaning towards, which when the bike hits the sun, you'll understand this pick, is to do either stick with black, do a bronze or a gold, or even try to find a color that is almost the same as the bike itself. I'd like to do powder coating because I think that'd be the easiest, more durable way to do it. But for right now, the bike as it sits looks like midnight black, and then it has the black with the red stripe wheels. But let's get this thing out in the sun so you guys can see its true color, and I think you'll be very surprised. All right, guys, we have both bikes done, ready to go. R6 technically has been done for about a week now to go to the track. We do have to get the front fender on, still have to get the strap kit from Speed Needs. Busa, hopefully the video footage came through good to really show the color. I had to really wait for a sunny day to do it, and with the weather being the way that it is, I've been having to postpone the reveal video for the bike constantly because I just haven't had the weather to get it all done. The Busa is pretty much buttoned up. I didn't know if I said it originally, but we have the JL race tank, or the Catalyst low pro tank, but it has a JL fuel cell. I went out and picked up a JL tank bracket, which is like maybe a third of the weight of the original. So we can take the tank off with the bracket as a whole. We have our race seat put on, so that's our race setup. If I want to go out and cruise, I had the OEM tank paint matched, ready to go. So we can go out and enjoy a full ride on the Busa with the original tank, original seat, and be able to have a versatile bike. I went with Jiffy Tight fuel fittings, so it's a quick in and out. They're quick connect, almost like a hydraulic fitting on a piece of heavy equipment or something. You just press them together, they click, no leaks, no nothing. I did have to spec out a fuel cell, or not a fuel cell, a fuel seal, because of switching this bike. I think next year, based on how this season goes, I believe we're going to switch over to E90 on the Busa and see how much power she picks up and see what else we can get done. Right now, she's running on 93, doing great at 250 wheel. So I'm pretty stoked. I'm happy how the bike's turned out so far, but hopefully we can hit the quarter mile here in the next couple days and see what she does. Also, we are going to do the weigh-in. I was going to do it this video, but time has been running short. It's unfortunately going to rain, and with the turbo blanket and a couple other things, I don't really want to get stuck out in the rain because I just want to keep this bike as clean as I can possibly keep it, but also with removing some of the plastics, water can get in places that it originally couldn't. So I'm not going to push my luck with water getting on things that it can hurt and that I might not be able to see immediately. So we are going to get both bikes up here. Hopefully we'll be able to get to rounds 1, 2, and 3 in a very short amount of time, because Memorial Day weekend is round 2 and 3 for Saturday and Sunday. And then I believe round 1 is hopefully going to be rescheduled for this weekend. So both of these bikes will be up at the track ready to go. I'm pretty stoked. Haven't had the time to really test them much, just because Mother Nature has been like unforgiving for drag racers here lately. Just for any motorsports really, because World of Outlaws was just out here at Williams Grove over the weekend, and they got put behind a lot because of rain popping up. So anyway, bikes are ready to go. We'll be hitting the track here very, very soon, guys. Stay tuned for that. And as always, guys, I hope you liked the video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Know anything more about the channel, drop those comments down below. As always, guys, hit that subscribe button and the little bell for notifications on the newest content that will be out. And yeah, we're going to be hitting the track here soon, guys. And I'm pretty stoked for it. I'm glad the bike's done. And thank you guys for staying through in the videos to see the progress that has been put into this bike. I know I'm not the biggest channel. I'm probably not the most book smart, tech smart, whatever you want to say with it, but I'm learning through every video that I do and trying to be as much of a one-man show as I can to maintain the bikes, build them, and show you guys how to build them if you want to do it yourself without paying all the money to go to a shop. But, alright guys, as always, ride safe, ride smart, always wear a helmet. I will see you on the next upload.